Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
Hello and welcome to Emma's podcast. In today's podcast, what are we going to be talking about? It feels like springtime here. Seriously, it is so nice, and we're the 27th of February. So I'm recording this and I'm posting it the end of March, beginning of April, I think, at this moment in time, something along those lines, and it's just so freaking nice. Seriously. The snow is melting. Now we got saturated water, which means saturated water equal dirty dogs equal mud. So dirty dogs, mud, not a good combo. Maca, actually, I have to talk about that boy. I have to redo my. Oops, I'm adjusting my. Okay, my microphone. I have to talk about him because he's my favorite boy. He's the boy who started all actually here. And it's very funny because he doesn't like water. He's scared of water, and he probably had a very first 7 months of his life being traumatized for life. Seriously, he was on a high kill shelters, full of scab, no skin, no hair, nothing. It was basically his little spirit was giving up on life when they pulled him at the last minute because he was on the list to be euthanized. The same with Daddy, actually, from the same shelters. And this boy doesn't like water at all. Seriously. When it rains, I remember at the beginning when I got him, he would not, when he was running, want to go outside. So we used to go by the garage where there was the little roof, and I let him know, okay, go pee pee, poo poo, do your business, and come back straight back in. He will not walk onto a puddle of water. Not at all. He would go around, and he's still through these days, which is funny because we go on walks in the morning, and he walks slow, but it's like double the slow down. With him, and he makes sure he's on the side, it's not where the water is, and he's the cleanest of the three. The other two, they don't give a crap a lot. They will run into the water, into the snow. They run everywhere, and they love the mud. It doesn't matter, they're covered in muds when they come back. And that happens yesterday, actually. Funny story. We went for the walk, and I'm looking at Daddy, and I'm looking at her belly, and I'm like, girl, you don't know how you walk again. You're covered in mud. Oh, kind of, at that point of time. Came back, and I let the door open, so they were playing outside, and I'm hearing it because Lulu is, and that's their tough game or sadistic game, or this is how they play their thing. And the little one, the boy, my boy, I'm going to say he can be fed up. Seriously, he takes it, and it's probably his Jack Russell side, but he's a Dachshund too, so he's pretty much a little fighter. Okay, so he can, and he's taking Mac. If you're watching my TikTok or my Insta, morning of the word of the day, not morning, but word of the day. You will see him running like a mad cow, or you can see him trying to take down Mac, which is like, honey, he's like twice your size. If he's not 3 times your size, you have no chance. But still going at it. And so they're running everything. Now their game, like I mentioned just a little bit minute ago, the game is between Daddy and Mac. They take Lulu like the Oreo. Lulu is the filling, and Mac is one of the side of the cookies, and the other one is the other side. Daddy is the other side, and is squashing him. They're taking him down. You know, you have to watch them working together. The three of them works great when they're hunting, actually, because I watched them doing it, and they do clean hunting, and they went after a squirrel. The squirrel did not met it. It was just like, oh God, Daddy wanted that little squirrel for quite some time because it was bothering her, and it was, when they go and nag at you, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you. Until one day she opened the door and she went for it, and he made a very bad mistake that caused the life of the squirrel. And I watched them in action. They were quiet. They were no blood, nothing. But they snapped the head, the head. They snapped the spine very quickly. And Mike didn't want to share, so Mike took this and he didn't want to share. And I'm like, okay, it's my turn to step in. I'm like, you're not gonna eat that thing here, buddy. That's not happening. So they are extremely organized when they are playing, when they are hunting. So I'm listening, what's going on. I'm not seeing it, but I'm hearing them. And I know how Mac operates, and he like to entice, and he's gonna guide you, Daddy, to do the dirty work. Well, Mac came back about 10 minutes later, something like that. Looks good, not a problem. Did not, just a little bit of dirt under his paw, and that was it. Daddy shows up, and I knew when I heard the rumbling what was going on. I didn't stop them. I said, let's see the disaster. And I look at Daddy. Her chest was muddy. I'm not even telling the paws. The paws has probably a pound of mud underneath her paws. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, well, you know what's going to happen, sister? We're going straight to the shower, which she knew. And she went straight, sat down, fine, no problem. The little one showed up. Yeah, he was all over the coat on the top because he rolled down the mud. This is how dirty the kids get. If they're going down, they're going down. They are not messing around. He was covered in mud. And he escaped and ended up on the bed. And I had to wash it, actually. I had a bunch of covers to protect the bed. But still, I'm like, really? He had a fit. Because she took the shower first. She looks pretty. She smells awesome. Sandalwood smells super nice. Shampoo for those guys. And at one point of time, as I was talking with her, I was washing her, I saw Lulu peeking. So he knew he would be next. He was on the bed. And I'm like, okay, I took because I'm like, I am not holding you against my clothes, buddy. You're gonna be first, surrounded by a nice towel, and then I will grab you. Well, little stinker escaped, went down and sit down on the on the dog bed, and I'm like, really? So I had to go slower, and I got him, and I put him, and I washed him, which he was fine actually because he's funny. He put his 2 paws on top of the bathtub. Like, okay, mama, you can wash me. I'm just the star, which is hilarious. Cooperation, 100%. And the last one that I did not touch was Mac. And Mac was concerned because he saw me coming back. And he's like, she's going to take me away too. And this is not happening. So he realized I wasn't doing it. But he wasn't happy because I was using the towel to dry the other two. So I had to fake it for him. I took the towel and I kind of dry him, and he was all happy skippy. Mac, however, I will make him take a bath at least every 6 months or once a year, but I do have the dry shampoo that works great. Actually, that cleans up pretty well and makes it easier for him because otherwise he gets scared. At the end of the day, they all get a treat. So, but it's just the trauma for Mac to go through it. And I'm like, okay, kid, we're not going to push the envelope with you. But it was funny. I had to give him the little drying time. So I like those kids. Seriously, every day is a different day. And yesterday, we went back and did play tennis. I got some new, they are 2 inches. They're not that big, but they are 2 inches tennis ball. So playing with it, except Lulu kept missing them. It's like, okay, it's not big enough for you, or you're not paying any attentions, but between Mac. No, Mac was playing on his own world. In his own world, that's Lulu that was grabbing it because he needs to run. The baby needs to run. So I got him once yesterday. Yesterday, yeah, that was yesterday afternoon. So he got, enough to get his energy out. And Daddy was running, which is easy with her. I was doing the same when I was in my home. We were going to the park, and when she got the ball in her mouth, she's fine, but she will run with Lulu. Otherwise, she would end up kind of bullying him because she learned from Mac to push with her chest. That's how Mac stopped Daddy. Daddy is Speedy Gonzalez, and Mac he can run, but he's not the one who will do a marathon. She does the marathon. She's resistant. He is not, but he will do a sprint. So in order to stop her, what he did every time he used his chest and bounce against her, he did it a few times actually, which is funny to watch. Well, she's extremely smart, super smart. So she made me laugh because she learns a lot. Those dogs, all of them are super bright. Seriously. She learns, she's an observer and she will copy you. She knows how to open the door. She knew how to remove the back of the batteries, where I put the batteries for the door. I had a keyless entry door. So she knew how to do it, and she did actually. And lucky for me, none of the batteries fall off because I would have not been able to open the door. This is where I realized, I said, even if it's a keyless, I still need a key for safety. But it's very interesting to see her. So she have learned a lot. But it's funny, between Lulu and her, they are extremely competitive. They're all competitive dogs. But when I take the tennis ball and we go play, I realized very quickly when she got one in her mouth, then she can chew and get her energy out of it too. And whatever, our competitiveness, she doesn't go and try to bite Lulu or overreact. I would say not bite, but overreact and let it out. She keeps it and run with him, which is very funny. So she runs. She doesn't grab the ball. She doesn't care. But she run with him, which is awesome. So she get the same exercise as well. But Lulu needed to do that. So we did it twice today. One earlier this morning and one I waited about an hour, 2 hours after they had their lunch, because we do 3. I feed them 3 times. Smaller amount. Still, I have to put Mac on diet, but that's a different story because of treats and crap like that they get. And I'm talking treats for dogs, not for humans. So it's very interesting to watch how they react. Seriously, it's very interesting also to see their personalities, because people don't realize animals are like humans. They all have their temper, they all have their personalities. And for people who adopt dogs, one thing as well, because there is a rule, they said, 30 or something like that, or it takes 90 days, 30 days to saddle, blah, blah, blah. Well, Mac saddled within less than 2 weeks. He was happy, skippy. The sign actually that he was doing well was for him to take his baby with him for a walk. And he did it on day 2 or 3. And I'm like, okay, you want your baby, take the baby. He picked it up. Everybody is doing it, which is funny, when it comes down to pick up the toys from the basket. Daddy, it took 2.5 years for her to saddle at some level. Now she's fabulous. She's doing so well. And she's 5 years old, gonna turn 6 in May. But it took her that long because she is overreactive, meaning she's scared of things and extremely clingy to mama. But there is an understanding as well, because she was born in May and dumped in July into a high kill shelter, not even 2 months old, which is pretty bad. And she was in bad shape as well. So she didn't have the nurturing of her mom. Neither did she been taught by her mom the basics as well, because mama dogs or any animals actually teach, except some like snakes and stuff like that. But most animals will teach their young how to hunt, how to deal with others species and stuff like that, or the same kind or whatever. So she never had it. Yes, when I'm not around, she's gonna wait by the door. Seriously, I went back this morning. It was funny. I had to go and do something, and I came back a few hours later, and she had her nose. It was funny because it was the storm window, the storm door actually. It wasn't the door itself, because I opened the door so she could see outside. She had her snoots against it, waiting for me. It was funny. So she likes to know where I'm at. She is next to me. She's always around me. And that's one thing that brings her the stress. The little one is the same way. He's Mr. Clingy. He clings on me as well. That's who he is. They're born in May, those two, and they are the most clingy of all. Mac he needs the love, he needs the attention, he wants some stuff, he will come to you, but he's not as clingy, he's more laid back. But those two are not. So for Daddy, it's nice to see she is totally settled now. But people need to understand there is some animals who will be more reactive, more stressed, and it requires them more more patience. And as they grow older, they will settle at some level. And she is doing fantastic. There is a lot of also word, and I said to her every day. So, and you can see by saying those positive words to her, because she knows when I talk to her, she knows when I'm talking positively or not. But it's very nice to see her behavior. Like this morning, everybody went off to bed when I said we're gonna go for the breakfast. And what she did actually, I wasn't up at all, but they both got off, the two boys. She came and snuggled with me for a minute. She did not give a crap. She said, "Hi, Mama." And it was nice. So, when animals are like humans, for me, it's the behavior is the same, meaning we all have our own moment where everything is fine. We all have our moment where things are not well. It depends on the day. So are animals. They have their mood and their temperament. But it's nice to see through the ears how they settle and how she's settling. And she's a gorgeous girl. She knows that. Yeah, she's listening as she's sleeping right now. But she is beautiful. But again, you have to know what kind of temperament they are. And to me, it's just been phenomenal. So yes, today we're talking about the dogs. Cannot help myself. Why not? It's a Monday. Let's take it easy. But it's nice to see them and see how they all evolved, the three of them. And just, see how they work together. There is some days she's gonna snip at Max. She's done it a couple of times actually, and it wasn't justified. But I'm looking at her. I'm like, come on, sister. He wanted the time, sometime with me. I said, you're gonna get your time. You got your time earlier with me. He needs his mama time. Everybody gets their own time. So, but very, very interesting. Love my kids. So this was our podcast for today. I know it's a dog's life, isn't it? But I just have to share it. Once in a while, it's not bad to go into a different path and share something like that. I found it quite inspiring. So all my love, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.
Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast. Universe Podcast.
Studio